Hey Talking fam, and welcome to another Talking Sports video. And today we'll be taking a look at the top 10 NFL running backs here in 2022 via CBS. I'm at NFL.com. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Please like and subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into it. All right, start off at number 1. We have Derrick Henry, King Henry. And I think he deserves it. In 2020, if you look at the stats for him, in 2020, he had 2,027 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. And in 2019, if you take a look, he had 1,540, and in 2018, he had 1,059. So he had 3 straight seasons with above 1,000 rush yards. And then he almost had it in 2021. He was on set he was basically ready to have a great campaign in 2021, but if you take a look at his game, eight games, 937 rush yards and 10 touchdowns. And if you take a look here, he was on pace to log 1,991. So he could have reached 2,000 again if he could have, but. On to number 2, we have Jonathan Taylor, Colts, and JT here. 17 games last year. He had 1,811 rush yards, led running backs. He had 5.5 yards per carry, and he had 18 touchdowns. He also had 360 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns. And now he has former MVP under center as Matt Ryan. Let's go. All right, next up, number 3, you have the Browns running back Nick Chubb. In 2021, in 14 games, he had 1,259 rush yards. He also had 8 touchdowns, and he also had 174 receiving yards with 1 touchdown as well there. And he's not to do a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning with Jacoby Brissett, but I mean, he's running back 1, and now you have Kareem Hunt wanting for a trade. So now he's going to have a full load there in Cleveland. So, just have to see. Next up at number 4, we have Minnesota Vikings Dalvin Cook, the Cook. In 13 games in 2021, he had 1,159 rush yards, 6 touchdowns, and 224 receiving yards. And second most, my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. Moving on to number 5, we have Ezekiel Elliott. In 2021, in 17 games, he had 1,002 rush yards. He had 10 rushing touchdowns, along with 287 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns. So he had 12 total touchdowns last season, and he had I think he had 1,289 total yards. So, it's good. And then at number 6, you have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, in 13 games, he had 898 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns, as well. Next up, you have at number 7, you have Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon, in 16 games last year, he had 1,205 touchdowns, yards, 13 touchdowns, and 3 receiving touchdowns. At number 8, you have Chargers running back Austin Eckler. And in 16 games last year, he had 911 rush yards, 12 touchdowns, and then he had 8 receiving touchdowns. So he had 20 total touchdowns last year with the Chargers. Next up, you have the number 9, Najee Harris. Najee Harris, in 17 games last year, had 1,200 rush yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 receiving touchdowns. And then finally, at number 10, you have Christian McCaffrey, MCMC. In 7 games, he had 442 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown. He's been injured the last couple of years, so it's kind of crazy for him. But hopefully he has a bounce back year and where he's not injured. So hopefully for that. Alright, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and peace.